Welcome back. This is Good Morning Namibia. Now, the Namibia Trade Forum has held a session to sensitize the small and medium enterprises in the Kharas Region on its digital platform, Trade Obstacles Alert Namibia. Joining us with more information on the pros and the cons of small and medium enterprises using such digital platforms and how it enables the business community to identify and report trade barriers is the Director of SME Compete, Mr. Meyer. Good morning, Mr. Meyer, and welcome back to Good Morning Namibia.
Good morning, Denver, and you really were looking great. I don't know what you're doing. Lots of exercise. Sorry?
Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Have you been well?
I am, thank you.
Happy to hear that and always happy to have you. First things first, Mr. Meyer, what role do you see platforms like Trade Obstacles Alert Namibia playing in improving the ease of doing business for our SMEs?
As the name implies, Denver, the intent is to help identify and, of course, then set the pathway to address those obstacles that stand in the way of Namibian entrepreneurs and enterprises in general trading and thereby growing their business and, of course, helping the economy grow at a faster pace.
Speaking of obstacles, from your experience working with these SMEs, what are the most common trade barriers they face, and how do you think the platform can help address the barriers effectively?
Well, barriers are related often to the regulatory environment and, of course, the lack of support services that would be provided by certain public sector entities. Also, of course, within the country, the business sector representative bodies are not so well organized, probably in their defense, because they are not well resourced. And so often they are not in a position to help entrepreneurs tackle some of those barriers or obstacles standing in the way to trade. So it's important that this platform is operational quickly, so that it helps actually when an entrepreneur hits a snag, when they see that they really cannot grow their business because of that obstacle, that it's addressed. So the obstacles are usually related to the business environment. Of course, there are other obstacles as well, such as access to funding. Often if an entrepreneur will get a large order, they would need to get a hold of bridging finance. It's not so easy in a historically a banking environment, which is collateral-based or security-based, to get that sort of funding. And of course, also we hope that this will also promote cooperation between SMEs, that when an enterprise see they have not got the capacity to take on a big job, that they can actually help each other by outsourcing. So this is a wonderful initiative, and I hope in the fullness of time it won't just become Trade Obstacles Alert, but will actually also become Trade Opportunities Alert.
At this stage, based on what you just explained to us, my understanding is that having access to these digital tools helps the entrepreneurs to report regulatory and trade-related barriers. Is that the main purpose at this stage?
At this stage, that is the main purpose. But as you know, Denver, once one has a digital platform in place, you can always, of course, expand the services and so on that it can offer. So I think that is a good starting point, and it's exciting that it's being targeted in a rural area like the Kharas Region, because Namibia, of course, has a vast geographical challenges as well. And so often the regions such as Kharas and others too seem to be not so well serviced. So this is an excellent development in that respect.
The other reality in Namibia is our vast digital divide. Now, digital adoption remains a challenge for many small businesses. In other words, what strategies should be implemented to ensure that our SMEs have access and greater access?
Well, of course, there's the affordability. And of course, a lot of the Namibian entrepreneurs don't have smartphones. So there's the cost, firstly, of the device, and then, of course, the cost of the connectivity. And so it would be great to see if towns can work together with the service providers to see how they can actually expand, firstly, the reach, the Wi-Fi reach, and we see how well it works in Upako, for example, in Gobabis, where at the resource center, close to the entrance of Upako, that is the Wi-Fi zone. So you find a lot of people, not only youngsters doing their homework and so on, sitting there and accessing that possibility, but we even now find a lot of the SMEs, the entrepreneurs, when they need to have access to Wi-Fi and they don't have that facility readily available, they can actually go there and use it. So it's a challenge to local authorities to work together with service providers to see how it can be rolled out so that firstly the coverage is there and of course then also the cost implications. And then we need to see how we can actually have a device made on this continent, not only coming in from, say, the Asian countries, that is more affordable, a smartphone type of device. Maybe we should try and encourage some of the brand names to come and set up production facilities on the continent. As, of course, we've got the youngest population, and Africa is going to be the continent of the future. That's where the workforce is going to be. So we need to see how we can get the prices down, because that is still a major obstacle.
Mr. Meyer, you and SME Compete already do tremendous work amongst our grassroots community, so thank you very much for that. Speak to us about how you can collaborate even more with platforms such as the Namibia Trade Forum to increase awareness and use of such digital platforms against the backdrop of those proposals that you just made.
Okay, that's a really a lovely question, Denver, in the sense that there's often this notion that we organizations that service the enterprise and entrepreneurial sector in the private sector or in the public sector tend to work in silos. That is not so. In fact, just for your information, I'm in Rundu. We're currently working with an organization that also supports entrepreneurship and an enterprise development of a culture who do have a capacity problem. So we're helping them in 10 of the 14 regions roll out a program. They've entered into agreement with the German Development Agency, and we're helping them because they have the capacity. We work all over the country in all 14 regions at the coalface or the grassroots level. So it just shows you how we do work together, and I want to just dispel that myth that we're working in silos. And it's not only private sector entities like us that support enterprise and entrepreneurial development, but also public sector. And so it was interesting to listen to the early interview from the Financial Literacy Initiative. For example, we developed for them the initial training material, which they still use when they do programs for SMEs around the country. And that collaboration continues. We've done work for them from time to time, and other entities too. We like to work with various ministries in the regions, and we have constant contact with local authorities, particularly the local economic development officers. So this Namibia Trade Forum, we've known, we've had a representation there in the past, actually. This is a wonderful initiative, and we hope that we can assist them, as I said earlier, not only to create obstacles alert, but opportunities alerts. I think that often people don't know about the business opportunities, yet there are wonderful opportunities out there, not only within the country, but also now it's time that some of our entrepreneurs need to start operating or expanding their reach to neighboring countries. Namibia's exports are still confined very much to products which we don't consume. yet we actually have products which we manufacture and consume, which we know that consumers in neighboring countries would like to have access to as well. So wonderful initiative on the part of NTF.
Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for those insights. Safe travels. Thank you for the great work that you continue to do, Mr. Meyer.
Thank you very much, and thank you to NBC Good Morning TV for always spotlighting enterprise and entrepreneurship around the country. Much appreciated.